Episode 1. Are you waiting for the rain to stop, or for someone who won't come anymore? The usually quiet corner cafe was now filled with the sound of rain. The sound of drops hitting the corrugated iron roof echoed like the unspoken heart of someone sitting at table number 5. The man was wearing a white shirt, half wet, holding a bouquet of sunflowers. "Who are you waiting for?" I asked, not out of curiosity, but because his eyes, it was as if he stayed still any longer, he would break. "No." "Oh yes, but probably not." He smiled softly, as if the sadness had worn away, no longer strong enough to hurt anymore. He said that this bouquet of flowers is something he buys every year on this exact day. The day 10 years ago, the girl with slightly curly hair sitting behind him on the motorbike said, "I like sunflowers because they always face the sun. If I am no longer here, please buy me this flower, okay?" And she disappeared. Really, a few days later, without warning, leaving behind nothing but nameless torment. Every year, I still bring flowers here, not to give to anyone, just to prove that I still remember, and I am still the person who was loved by someone with such a naive promise. The rain did not stop. The man left when the clock showed 7:07. He put the bouquet of flowers on table number 5, didn't look at me, didn't look back, looked at it, then turned to the bouquet. Inside was a piece of paper with a trembling line. "I don't know if you're still alive, but if you are, and if you ever come back here, then know this: I have never forgotten you. And I forgive you even for the things you haven't had time to apologize for." It rained all day today, and I, an unrelated person, sat for a long time next to that bouquet of flowers, because each of us has waited for someone who is no longer on the bus of our life. Episode 2, I cried without knowing who I was. In the series, Those Who Walk Through the Rain, the rain lasted from afternoon until late at night. At the last bus stop, a person sat huddled under a small shelter. No luggage, no phone, no name. Only the eyes still held something, bewilderment, as if someone had just lost a whole life without knowing to whom it belonged. "Are you waiting for a car?" I asked, even though the last bus left at 8 o'clock. "I don't know. I just sit here because when I hear the rain, I feel my heart shrink like a bunch of dry leaves. And I start to cry." He doesn't remember where he came from, doesn't remember his name, doesn't remember his birthday, only remembers the sound of rain. It's strange. I don't know who I am, but the sound of the rain, it's like the sound of someone who used to lull me to sleep, like a hand rubbing my back every night, like a familiar breath that I can't name. He told of vague images, a blue striped shirt hanging at the head of the bed, a hand with a long scar carrying someone across the street, a small room with a window overlooking a star fruit tree, and a voice, sometimes very small, sometimes booming, "Don't be gone for long, okay?" I don't know who said that, but I'm sure that person loved me very much. And I've made them wait too long. I didn't know what to say. I just kept quiet and gave him my jacket. He hugged it as if it was the last memory left in. The world dawned the next morning. The man was gone. He left nothing behind except a small note tucked under his coat. If I was ever important to someone, I hope one day they will forgive me for forgetting myself. The rain has called me back. I'm leaving. Sometimes we don't need to remember who we are. We just need someone to remember us. And the sound of the rain will testify that we once existed, that we were once loved. Episode 3, The Bride Who Wasn't Waiting. She walked into the shop as the rain began to whip up the sidewalk. Her white wedding dress had turned cream, the hem muddy. Her hair was tangled, her cheeks were flushed, her eyes were dry dot. No one asked anything. No one dared to ask. Only the owner, saw the ring in her pocket, not on her finger. What would you like to drink? Something bitter, the more bitter the better. She sat facing the glass door, her eyes looking out at the rain, as if she looked long enough, that day would return. The day she stood waiting at the church gate, waiting for someone who never came. You are not crying? Cry, cry until there are no more tears, then laugh. Laugh until people think you are crazy. She told of a wedding that had been carefully arranged. Invitations, wedding music, white dress. Everything was ready except the groom. He texted, "I can't, forgive me." Then he was silent. For 3 years, he has remained silent. So why do you still keep the dress? Because I think if one day I can forgive myself, I will wear it to send off the dead part of me for the last time. You chose today because today is my wedding day. Every year I choose a place to wear this dress again, drink something bitter, and remember how I survived when my heart exploded. The rain poured down. She drained her cup of strong black coffee, leaving behind a small bill and a folded piece of paper. Today I am sad, but I am still alive. Tomorrow will be another day, where I will be my own bride. People think wedding dresses are for stepping into love, but sometimes people wear them to step out of pain. Episode 4, I'm looking for the person who gave birth to me. On a rainy afternoon, a small inn by the forest opened its doors to welcome a young guest, about 8 years old, with a small backpack, wet shoes, and a black and white photo clutched tightly in his arms. The boy said each word clearly. "I'm looking for my mother." I sat down, eye level. "Where is your mother?" "I don't know." "The person in this photo is my mother, my foster father said she passed away a long time ago." But I don't believe it. Every time it rains, my heart beats faster. As if someone is calling, I held the photo. A thin woman, wearing a striped shirt, standing by the sea. Her face was smiling, but her eyes were not. "How did you get here?" "I got on the wrong bus and got lost. But when I saw the sign Hidden Hostel, I stopped." My mother often told me stories about staying in the rain. Who knows, maybe she used to live here. It spoke in a strange voice, the voice of an adult trapped in a tiny body. Probably because it grew up in absence. Do you believe your mother is still alive? Yes, people are only truly dead when no one remembers them anymore. I still remember. So Mom still does. That night, the boy slept on the sofa by the window. The rain was still falling. He dreamed and sobbed. "Don't run away anymore, Mom. I won't bother you." The next morning, it left. It still held the photo in its arms. Its eyes were so bright as if the sky would soon return its mother to it. On the pillow, I saw a childish line of writing. "If you ever visit the Hidden Inn and read this, you will know that I am still waiting. There are children who pass through our lives like stray rain and leave behind a storm inside." Episode 5, The Man Who Killed with Silence. It wasn't raining, but the wind was cold, as if it were about to rain. A man came in the evening, carrying an old suitcase, a dull look in his eyes, and the smell of cigarettes mixed with guilt. "Is there a room?" "Yes, but there are very few people here. Just strange guests." "Good, I'm hiding from humans." That night, he did not sleep. Sitting on the porch, his hands shook as he lit each cigarette. I brought out a pot of ginger tea, saying nothing, until he breathed out a sentence. "I had an accident. A girl died on the spot. I didn't stop. I didn't turn around. I ran away. My heart skipped a beat. Not because of fear, but because those words were released as lightly as a breath after many years of not breathing. Why tell today? Because I dream about that girl every time it rains. She stands under the tree, Eyes wide open, not blaming, not crying. Just waiting. Waiting for what? Wait for me to admit my mistake, he continued. It's been 10 years. Not a day goes by without seeing that scene again. The headlights, the screeching sound of brakes, blood, and my own silence. I thought I was used to it. But the more I got used to it, the more I felt like trash. Today, I left without intending to return, but the sky wouldn't let it rain. So I stopped here. I asked, "Do you think you deserve to be forgiven?" He shook his head. I just hope that when it rains really hard, that lost soul won't be wet anymore. If I have to get wet for the rest of my life to make up for it, I'll take it. He left early in the morning, without taking back the deposit, leaving only a folded note tucked under the teapot. I used to choose silence when I needed to stop. Now I stop. I hope it rains. And the girl stops being cold. There are crimes that do not need the law, because the sentence in the heart is heavier than a life in prison.